Join us each Saturday for the Justice is Here podcast, an innovative, revolutionary podcast that speaks to justice for all party members across America. We'll speak to leadership, we'll speak to activists, and most of all, we want to hear your opinion. So if you're tired of the two-party system and how it doesn't work for you, tune into this podcast to learn how we can take back the justice that we deserve. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the...
Okay, let's see.
I think Robin is still having technical difficulties, so I'm going to take her down for a second because she can't hear me. So I need to know from everybody, can you all hear me? If you can hear me, please type yes in the comments. If you can hear me now, type yes in the comments. My mic was working, so I should be, I'm trying to give her the thumbs up to see. Looks like she can do it. Looks like she's good to go.
All right, it was me.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so welcome everybody to the 15th. We have done 15 episodes of the Justice is Here podcast. It keeps getting better and better and better, and we're coming close to our work. If you were here last week, we had a big announcement. The steering committee exists no longer. We are now transforming over to the national committee. So we are on our way to establishing and building and moving and all of those kind of things. Before I get started, we're going to pay a whole lot of bills here.
Okay.
So first off, visit the website at justiceforall.us. Justiceforall.us. One more time for good measure, justiceforall.us. That is the website where you can see our platform. You can learn about volunteer opportunities. You can also donate. Subscribe to this channel. The goal of this podcast, obviously, is to talk about the work of the Justice for All Party. So if you want to help that to get to as many people as possible, subscribing helps us to get platformed in YouTube, and it's absolutely free. And you can also hit that notification button to know that when we're going live. Follow the Justice is Here podcast on TikTok. Follow the Justice is Here podcast on Blue Sky. Follow the podcast on Instagram. And when I figure out how to use Instagram and TikTok, I'll be posting there, but still go ahead and follow us there. And also remember to join the Tracy Media Group mailing list. I do other videos that I think are pretty good. I did an excellent one on Thursday. If you missed my Thursday episode, you really missed a great episode. We were talking about Ibrahim Traoré, which I still can't get his name right, but that's okay. I'll get it eventually. But go back and watch that episode. But it's a free mailing list. I won't sell your name to anyone. You just join it. I'm working on a newsletter for the 15th of June. So we'll have that. And help us to get to 50 likes and 35 shares. Hit that like button. Share this podcast to your friends, your frenemies, the lady with too many cats. Share. And final announcement, mark your calendars for Saturday, August the 30th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Join us for the Justice for All Fundraising-A-Thon. I could not think of a better name. We will have special guests, entertainment, and learn how you, the public, can get involved in the Justice for All party and help us to raise $25,000 in one evening. Look for more details coming about that, but mark your calendars. I'm working on the thumbnail now, but it's going to be a great evening. We got some special guests lined up, and we need your participation. Robin, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
I am doing busy as usual.
I know.
I don't know a time when I'm not busy.
You have been busy.
But
Justice for All.
Yes, Justice. This is why we need more volunteers, right? Because I love the work. Don't get me wrong. It's a moment and a movement, and I love everything about it. But wow, I underestimated. I literally underestimate the work it took to build a party and the platforms and the details. I'm like, way over my head. Go ahead.
Speaking of the platform, which Cornel West platform was the reason I just got on board immediately. When I went to the justiceforall.org, I couldn't find like a place where it said the platform, how to get to that platform, that great platform of Cornel West that was, put together. I couldn't find it, so I had to go back to the Wayback Machines to actually find it. But it's such a great platform, and maybe I'm just missing it. I haven't navigated it well, but hopefully that is, front and center because
I believe it's under. Let's see. Hold on, just a moment.
I'm here too.
Oh, it's expanding. Okay, so it's not. You're talking about that full platform that was under CornelWest2024.com. Okay, that's the one you're talking about. No, it's not on the site yet. It's being incorporated.
Okay.
The site just launched.
Well, if anybody wants to find it, you go on the Wayback Machine on Google, and you can actually, and you put in the Cornel West, for president. And you'll get it, but I can provide that if you like.
But yeah, it's not on. You're right. It is not. I think it's on the. Let's see. Nope, it's really not on there. So, and it could be for several reasons.
Updating it. I get it. Yeah. The one I am focused on really right here. I mean, at the same time, pretty much that I started campaigning or getting signatures for Cornel back in October 2023 or September 2023. I can't remember. And then the Gaza genocide, and here in my local community, we were just finding just complete corruption that actually where the politicians are actually using affordable housing to harm people. So that has been like our goal. And I was looking at Cornel's economic justice and under it is homelessness, and how homeless people are being dehumanized and criminalized, and people are unable to even afford to live in their hometowns. And if you're in a town like mine, and I can imagine not almost everyone is, but mine is one that has water around it, so it's desirable. It's just being taken over and privatized for the longest time. It's been taken over by oligarchs. So what I'm saying is we can all also work as well as part of the campaign in our local communities, hopefully finding justice for all candidates and trying to help people that are just harmed by this greed and corruption, and developers and that are only interested in building market rate and luxury housing. It's just we're seeing such harm here. So part of Cornell's platform was economic justice and housing justice, you know, for all, you know.
Yep,
And so.
And to note, this is Robin's 20,453rd time appearing on the podcast. But she hasn't been on here in a while. But I do want to talk about, I do see some comments in the chat. Rude Byway MC, definitely like, share, comment, and subscribe, please. Cousin Nelson says, well, it isn't the dynamic duo for Tracy and Robin. That's fantastic. Thank you, Nelson, for tuning in. I want to take this show in a little bit different direction because you haven't served on the steering committee. So I'm not going to ask you those questions. Obviously, you can't answer them. But we're going to concentrate more of what the problem is and possible solutions. Because we can all complain all day about our problems here in the great state of Indiana. Oh boy, y'all got to tune into my show tomorrow. We got a lieutenant governor, y'all. He said the 3/5 compromise was a good idea, and it led to the abolishment of slavery. Then, when people demanded an apology, the governor, as racist as the governor is, he's like, you really shouldn't have said that. He tells the governor, oh, I don't work for you. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that. I got a long rant on that.
Yeah, it's like I guess constitutional law is not applying at the moment.
Yeah, just throw it out. Throw it out. What a law? What's that? We just make them up as we go along.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something very strange. The Democratic Party. And I'm about to give a compliment to somebody that is a Democrat, but it's a slight, timid compliment. And that's to David Hogg.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to give him credit for saying, hey, there's a bunch of do-nothing Democrats around. Absolutely right.
Isn't their response to primary or something?
Well, see, he tried to do that. He said he was going to raise $20 million to primary what he calls do-nothing Democrats.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, his vice chairship is... Now they got to do the whole thing over. I wonder why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did hear about that. I was just thinking about, the Democrats, Congress, they were ready to vote for the 20-year sentence for people who wanted to boycott Israel. I mean,
and
it took a far-right Republican to stop that.
It took Marjorie Taylor Greene of anybody, not somebody, not Jasmine Crockett, not Congressman Frost, not my congressman. Nope, it took Marjorie Taylor. I'm like, oh gosh. Y'all gotta be joking. Y'all gotta be joking. You've gone too far right when she's like, no.
That's just not constitutional. Yeah, she's the one who points that out.
How bad of a party are you that you're sitting here like if you had asked me any Republican, there's no way I would have picked her. No way. No. There's no way I would have thought, oh, she's going to be the one to stop it. I'd have thought some Democrat would have stepped up and said, you know what? Nope.
Absolutely. 80% of them are funded by AIPAC. They are not going to speak out against it.
Did you go to the I know you didn't, but I'm going to ask anyway. Did you go to the hands-off protest?
I did not go to the hands-off protest. There was something about, the one that was local. These signs that Democrats mostly are carrying are we care about you. We will protect you, or whatever I can't remember exactly what the sign said, but it's like, we care about you. And they did not care about, immigrants back when Biden was president. They walked past homeless people, So I did not, because my local community one would have been rather toxic. But
yeah, I chose not to go, and now, thank you, Mark, for getting me to get a big clue in this. It's like you really missed an opportunity. I'm paraphrasing
yeah,
these
it's
words.
true. I thought about.
And I was like, you know what? I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a time when Democratic voters are mad at the Democrats and Republican voters are mad at the I've never seen a time like this. And I want the Justice for All parties to take advantage of that.
We should actually, that's part of organization. You're right. We should have made a presence. We should have carried different signs with different, I don't know, to call out truth and all of within all of this kind of rhetoric, that there is absolutely no choice in either party. Both parties are parties of genocide. Both parties are party of oligarchs. We see it, like I said, here on a local level. They're neolibs and Republicans working together. They're taking HUD money to put it into something called Quincy Square, which they're using Black celebrities and local Black faces that on a mural for hyper gentrified, mostly white people that they're trying to bring in, so that'll make them feel good about themselves. And they're taking money that's meant for lower income people, and could be used for homeless, to do this. It's like what is it? Laundering their image.
And I bet you it's illegal for a homeless person to sleep outside.
It's illegal for a homeless person to sleep outside. In fact, they've been scattered anti-camping rules, and without shelter in this area. They're trying to do some sort of shelter that's been in the works for 5 years, but it's all stacked with developers, real estate lobby, and politicians who just want to launder their reputations, while people are hanging themselves in the woods. They don't care at all.
And I'm thinking, because you're in Washington State, right? So that's a blue state.
It's both. Right now, it used to be a blue state. It used to be like really strong environmental laws, really strong. And we're starting to have some movement where like people fighting back a little bit locally for tenant rights. Washington State did pass some sort of tenant rights, housing rights bill just recently. But we have to fight all the time for it. And there's just a small amount of us, that's the problem. You're fighting apathy. Mostly, you'll get people to go out and do the hands-off thing because they hate Trump, but they're not willing to fight for the people Trump is actually hurting or Biden hurt.
You see. Wait a minute. See this word? Yes, here comes my first rant. It's like after this election, I thought there's no way that I don't know, because I was giving them credit. I thought there's no way people are going to stand for genocide now. There's no way. They're going to just say, nope, not on my watch. I was so wrong. I completely misread America. I don't know what's wrong with our culture. I don't know if it's we don't care because they're way over there, like somebody tried to tell me. And I'm like, no, what happens internationally affects what happens nationally. But you point out things like Biden wanting to cut Medicaid, wanting to cut Social. Oh no, that wasn't us. Yes, it was you. It was your party that did that. Yes, it absolutely was. Oh, well, you must be for Trump. No, I'm just telling the truth. There's this thing called the truth. You in Blue MAGA, it's like they don't want to see it.
It's interesting because people used to actually criticize politicians within the party just to hold their feet to the fire. It used to be a thing. Now it's like, oh, don't do that. Don't say that because we'll get the Republicans. But there really isn't a difference, except for the fact that Republicans are really gross. I mean, they'll actually be racist and xenophobic and say horrible things. And yes, they are probably doing worse things now, but the Democrats set them up, through their policies, through Clinton's policies, through, Obama's policies. They set these guys up, these oligarchs up.
And here's what I'll say, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. Stop letting these parties play in your face. If I don't say anything else in this podcast, I've repeated it every single episode. Stop letting these parties play in your face. Mm-hmm. The Justice for All party is different. We're not out here lying to your face. We're for reparations, and then we do everything within our power to stop reparations.
Whew. Now, you're saying the Democrats are for reparations?
No, they'll say, oh, no, Democrats won't say they're for reparations. I said we wouldn't say we're for reparations and then turn around and work against it. We wouldn't say we're for health care for all Americans, but not Medicare for all because, that costs too much. But apparently war has no budget. We can just fund war all day, every day, but not Medicare for all. Not that. And then work and then say, oh, if it gets to my desk, I'll veto it. I'm supposed to trust you? I'm supposed to trust you. 1994 crime bill. I'm supposed to trust you. Okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. The personal responsibility, what?
And I think that's a problem that I don't want to see us get into. Is where we won't bring each other to, because I'm assuming, is Jose around?
Yeah, he's actually working on city activism, taking.
I was gonna say how he brings up issues in what's happening in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah,
I had no idea. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, well, they're like U.S. citizens and they can vote in elections. No, they can't. I was in I'm like, wait a minute, they can't vote in presidential elections. They don't have representation.
They do not. Do not have disability, as SSI disability, and that is thanks to Biden. It's first, that was a campaign promise of his.
He also said he would have the Black communities back, and then told civil rights leaders, you better partner up with the Hispanics. They'll outnumber you. But we're supposed to just go in the booth and say, hey, whatever.
I just took a train across the country to Midwest, closer to your area, Chicago. And
didn't call her anything. Didn't say, hey, Tracy, I'm in Chicago. What you
I thought I told you that I was going to Chicago. It was whirlwind. We went for a graduation. Anyway, on the train trip, it was 46 hours. And we had a lot of conversations. And they were interesting conversations. And one where we thought, they said they saw Jose's hat, Justice for All hat. And they said, oh, Cornel West, I saw him once before. But then they started talking and then said, Cornel, all he does is criticize. And I said, do you read his platform? Do you know his platform? All kinds of solutions, actual, solutions, not just criticisms, but truth. And then he was saying, well, I understand this whole idea of complicity and silence and whatnot, but on Gaza, but it would have been better, we should have voted for Kamala, and everything would be better. So that person was an ex-Bernie person, and actually still a Bernie person. Other people just were obviously, right down Democrat or Republican, but
I wish I had been on that train ride. And he said,
that would have been fun, actually.
Oh, I wish it had been me. I'd have said, now look, so you're saying all he does is complain. Aren't you complaining then? Like you're complaining about him complaining.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. This sense of entitlement that Blue MAGA has, they assume, which is why they spent so much. They spent $20 million in courts trying to stop Dr. West from getting on state ballots. And I think the state of Pennsylvania, y'all still trash. Y'all trash. He actually, and Georgia, Pennsylvania and Georgia, y'all trash. He had enough signatures to be on those ballots. And the court said no, because of the Democrats. But they believe in democracy. And I keep saying to everybody, listen to me. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a republic. Please know the difference between a democracy and a republic. Just that.
I actually even have a hard time saying democratic. I always call Democrats Dems because of that. They are not Democratic.
And Nelson said it better. There's no better time than the present to take advantage of the awakening of the country when they are seeing the disgrace of both parties but are confused about what to do. Absolutely, Nelson. And I think that's where I want to kind of steer the discussion is because, again, I want to make this point very clear as well as I can. If somebody that's running for Justice for All party does something and it's completely stupid, I'm going to say it's completely stupid. I'm not going to hold back my criticism. Now, what I won't do is bring their family in it and make personal attacks. That's what I won't do because that's what Democrats do. They just bring personal things. I don't care that Trump slept with a porn star. I literally don't care. That's between him, her, and his wife, whatever. But that's what the two-party system does. I will never present any candidate with Justice for All as a perfect candidate. There's no such thing as a perfect. They don't exist.
Yeah. But just if you're a Justice for All candidate, you have probably are actually trying to hopefully address issues of injustice, and which is really important in a candidate. I mean, it's just we have so many candidates that are insincere, and we just don't have a choice out there. So yeah.
And I think one of the things, and I was watching another podcast, which I won't name, but there was this guy in here, and I forget what his name is, but he was saying that he was running for office as an independent. And I think this is a fantastic idea, by the way. He signed a contract of all the things that he promised in his platform if he got elected. And if he didn't do those things, then the citizens would have a right to either primary him. Well, independents can't be primary because they're independents, but they would have the right to replace him. And I think that's a fantastic idea. There should be you put your name to a piece of paper and say, I'm going to do this, 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 this,
Oh,
this,
don't.
this, and this.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, what did somebody say? Politics is compromise. You have to compromise on everything. It's, I suppose, to get things done. But I don't know. I don't think you should ever compromise your values. And, they primaried Cori Bush, and she seemed to be one of the few people in Congress that was actually speaking out and doing things. She was actually the only person who, after being elected, joined the Medicare for All march, and she was involved in pretty much everything. So, I mean, there's not many people to point to.
Yeah, it's like, well, and see, Rue, by the way, MC, you gonna keep making this joke, and it's not funny. Tracy's not running for office in 2026. Tracy will not, but Robin should.
Oh gosh, no. All you have to do is watch a few of my videos where I'm talking in front of the city council, and I get a little bit too emotional, I guess. Let people
see. Robin doesn't have the problem I have. See, my problem is opposite. I talk too much, and I have a smart mouth. Like, I got those two things going. I'm like, oh yeah, we could take this outside. I don't even care.
I'm not being nice anymore. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say, so happy to thank you for letting me speak and all of this. I'm up there telling them they're corrupt. I'm telling them they're harming homeless people. I'm telling them that they are owned by market rate and luxury developers. That they're running on affordable housing. They have no intention on building affordable housing. So basically, I'm up there. Like, I came into the building the other day for looking at public records, which everybody should do. We can all get public records and information on. We need to all be confident in knowing that these people that are working there, they have records, and they should be to the public, and we can expose them that way. So we were down there, and I introduced myself, and she said, "I know who you are." So,
and you're gonna keep knowing who I am.
Yeah. And in fact, a council person took Jose aside and asked him why he was so angry.
And because you're an idiot. See, yeah, I would come back with the smart mouth.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I was like, because you the one. But here, Nelson, if nothing else, you are consistent. But there's a difference between compromise and selling out. Bernie Sanders is a sellout to the Democratic Party and does not have the ability to call them out for it. Nelson, you never
sell out for the Democratic Party.
Right? Yeah, for the Nelson, you never disappoint. I said, well, we'll have Nelson here to criticize Bernie Sanders.
Thank you, Nelson. I mean, people just don't criticize Bernie Sanders enough. They just start following him again. I like sheep. Like left sheep, and then they just like led right to the Democratic Party.
So I think this comment is for me. Well, a black woman for Trump? No, I voted for Dr. Cornel West. Make that sense. I'm not okay with fascism, but I'll say Biden is also fascist. So I don't know where that impression came from, but
they both work for the same people. They really do.
I don't think people know that.
And it's like
you could tell people that 1,000 times and they'll still be like, I'm voting for my team because I won't vote for the other team. Have you even considered what the other side is saying might be a good idea? Have you ever considered what, because I have a lot of friends that are MAGA. They aren't racist. Everybody that's with MAGA is not racist.
No, I get that. I've actually found that out too.
And so the ones who I speak to, they'll listen, but they not really listening yet. But I'm like, what has the Republicans done for you? Your grocery prices are still high. Tariffs is going to make it harder for you to buy things. What have they done for you? All these platitudes that they're giving you, they're just platitudes. And of course, you know, my criticism always is going to go to Democrats and Black people. Why in the entire world do Black people continue to vote for Democrats? We've got to stop it. We've got to stop this. And if you're going to vote for somebody like a Harris,
it's really hard to continue.
I couldn't even, like, the concept of even voting for either of those two was just like, I don't think I even considered it. I'm just like, well, not going to do this.
If I have to say, if she had not said, if she had said, this is wrong, genocide is wrong, in my administration, we're going to stop sending arms to Israel, I would have voted for this to save people's lives. But she actually got up there and she vowed
down. She doubled down on it. She was like, I want the most lethal military. I was like, okay, lady, you scaring me because you're going way to the right. But it amazes me that when you talk to people, especially as a Black American. Oh, and tune in for my Black Voter Forum, June 7th at 6:00 p.m. I think y'all gonna be real pleased with that forum. I forgot to mention that, but it amazes me how something that I don't want the Justice for All Party to do. We're not taking votes for granted, right? We are. I'm speaking for the Justice for All Party. They can say, Tracy, you don't speak for us, but oh well. I've had Dr. Cornel West on this podcast, so you. Don't take voters for granted. Don't just assume. Well, don't assume that people are going to vote for you because you're right. You're gonna have to get out there and work for votes because one, you have to change your mindset. Go ahead, Robin.
Well, it's really disheartening because even locally, in a small local community, it's really hard to get elected unless you are endorsed by people who are really exploit people. The real estate lobby here is strong. You have they're called KCAR. There's a group of people, of politicians and developers and Chamber of Commerce's together that we call the KEDA cartel, which is the Kitsap Economic Development Cartel Association, or alliance, or whatever they are. But the thing is, it's basically people that have access to our politicians 24/7 that regular people don't. And by the way, I want to say here in Bremerton, our council voted to take away our due process. We no longer have, they've taken away our ability to be notified if there's a building going up or to comment. They've shut us out completely. They've packed our planning commissions with developers, real estate agents, venture partners of billionaire developers. I mean, it's really like almost like the Wild West out here. Law has gone out the window.
Now, let me ask you this. Is the mayor of Bremerton a Republican or a Democrat?
He's probably would consider himself a Democrat. He doesn't have to say.
No, I mean officially. I mean, if you saw him on a ballot, what would he say he is?
They don't have to say.
Oh, because you live, okay.
Yeah. So yes, I would say he's a neolib. And he actually came in 2017, and he was actually talking about, you know, we need to slow down and all of because we need to make sure rents aren't inflated. And he was just like brought in. He was put on a string, and now he's completely for developers. We have a DCD, which is a Department of. It's supposed to be a permitting office, but it just helps developers out. It doesn't care about the local population that it's pushing out. Our council all voted for anti-camping laws. They scattered people. People are hunted by these groups of neighborhood, what are those neighborhood watch groups that are community policing, both police and those people. It's just really gross. And the only reason we're staying here is there's not many people fighting, but we're starting to get people to fight.
And I think that's the point. You know, it's hard it is difficult to run for, and I'm saying this, just said, I'm not going to run for office, which I won't, but some people that don't have smart mouths.
I think we need smart mouths.
No, you know, because see, here's my problem. Y'all know this, and I know everybody know this. I'm not exactly for the legalization of marijuana. I'm just not. I'm not.
That's not a human right. I'm sorry. The legal. Can I just say something about the legalization of marijuana?
I know
it's all great, but there are people like corporations, like big money. It's huge money, and they're making a lot.
They're making a lot. Agree, but I'm just talking about how I feel. Okay. I would appeal more to a conservative, because as liberal as some people think I am, when it comes to how I live my life, I'm a straight up conservative. I'm the conservatives. Anybody that knows me will tell you I'm the conservatives. Politically,
no. Are you?
Especially what I believe about family roles and those type of things. I'm like, nah, you're not going, no. And I know that's a hindrance, right? So I say, I can step back and push other people forward, right? I can push other people that would be well more qualified than I would to run for office. Because there's people who I know in Indiana they are well qualified to run.
I believe you said, though, that none of Cornel West's platforms, like none of them, the policies, stuck out to you as something that you couldn't support, right?
I did and didn't. Most of them, like none of them, I thought, well, that's a good one. There was nothing in general. I mean, there's a couple little minor things, but I'm like, that's not going to stop me from, because I could see where it was going, right? And I think when you make the assessment, when a person makes the assessment of whether they should run for office, and I'm only talking to Justice for All people. I'm not talking to Green Party people, Libertarian. I'm not talking to I'm only talking to Justice for All candidates. When you make the decision to run for office, you have to look at what are your strengths. My strength is I can talk to people. That's my strength. I can communicate.
Hopefully it's values.
And values, that's another one. I have strong values. I have the ability to coalesce groups of people. Because I'm a community.
I care about all human beings.
Yes, I care about all human beings. Here comes my weaknesses. Number one, I got a smart mouth. You get in my face, I'm gonna get in yours. I don't care. Keep my name out your mouth. Just keep my name. We will do good. If you keep my name out of your mouth, we're going to do so well. But that moment that you cross it, I like to say I'm living for the Lord, but all the time I'm not. That's my strive. That's my goal. But I don't always hit that goal. And you might catch me on one of them days where I ain't hitting what I should be. And so for me, and I got credit problems. I got money problems that I know would be a liability.
Yeah. I really think that we need people that come forward that are real human beings. They will talk about the maybe whatever flaws they have, and then they don't try to just like gloss themselves over with insincere, cynical talking points, but because they putting. I just want some real, nobody's perfect on it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's what I'm going to say, everybody, with my legalization. Due to chronic back pain, paddle force groups, my choices are cannabis or opiates. Opiates kill people. Here's how I feel. Whatever you do in your own house, that's cool. Do you smoke? If you want to smoke till kingdom come, do that. But once you hit that public square, that's where I'm gonna have. That's where I'm personally gonna have the problem at. So, do I think people
so that's
should?
good. You don't care whether people buy.
Yeah, do you? Do you, boo?
Don't want to have to walk through a cloud.
Yeah, but don't drive cars. Don't teach children. Don't go in the once you hit that public square. Nah, that's a big old no for me. But what you do in your house, okay, that's your house. Do it, do you? But that's another one. I'm just not. I don't like the left side of veganism. I think it's too. I like a good steak. I eat chicken.
Again, for anybody doing whatever they want to in their house, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat steak. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna eat pork. I don't know what to tell you. But what I think, and again, like I said, I have a whole bunch of financial problems, and me personally, I think those would be a hindrance. Now, does that? I do. Because, girl, you don't know.
That would make you like everyone else. That, the only people who don't have financial problems are people who.
No, I got serious financial problems. Serious. I think that, and maybe I'm being just like too hard on myself, but I think it would be a hindrance. And what I don't want to do to this movement is be a hindrance. I think the podcast is where I should be at, right? That's where I think that I can shine and do the most good.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that the way some of the people in the state of Indiana have acted like a plumb near fool, that thought has not come to my mind.
Yeah.
But then again, running as a third, I'm not going to run as a Democrat. That's not going to happen. I will not do it. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm like, hey, I don't trust the Democratic Party. Don't trust them. Don't like them.
So locally, would you consider being on a city council?
Okay, Group, by the way, it's okay to eat meat, but I'm talking about the extreme veganism where they start naming beef at the store. I can't with that. I can't. Like, y'all gonna stop whole funeral procession. No, you gonna stop that with me. But I get where you're going. And again, this is a major issue for some people. But again, I'm not gonna lie to people. I'm gonna tell you, hey, I got problems with this. This is where I differ. But I think it's hard to put it in quantitative, right? I definitely think people need to run for office. Yeah. I just don't think I'm one of those people that needs to run for office.
Okay, but I do believe people need to focus on bigger things than, lifestyle choice type things, and beyond themselves, and look at how human beings are treated, and policies that'll help lift up other human beings, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm hoping they go. I don't care what they do in their house. I don't care if they're vegan or
just don't hold funeral services at the dang on grocery store. That's literally all I'm asking. Don't do that.
Have you seen that?
I've seen it, and I'm just like, you know what? Y'all gonna make me go over here and buy more of it. See, I was minding my own business over here in the vegetable aisle. Watch what I do. But
that's something I have never seen. That's amazing.
No, but I think you said, "Would I run for city council?"
Yeah, because that's
what I think about city council.
They can make some laws that really
they can.
That really affect.
Here's what I'll say: if I'm gonna run, if I was gonna run, it's either Senate, governor, or a PTO US. I'm just not. I can't do that low hanging fruit stuff.
Yeah.
I can't. That's the other problem I have. I'm a huge competitor. Competition, it gives me a high that I just can't get anywhere.
Wait, what about mayor?
I never thought about mayor.
Yeah.
I never thought about mayor.
I mean, you've lived in Indianapolis all your life.
All but 2 years, yes.
Born and bred. What is it? Indianapolis?
Indianapolis.
Oh, no, what do you call yourselves? Each a person that's
Hoosiers.
Oh, okay, Hoosiers. Hoosiers. I thought that was a Indiana thing, not an Indianapolis thing, though.
No, whether you're from Muncie, Noblesville, Hamilton County, Marion County, you're a Hoosier.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I know there are problems with me running. And what I don't want to do is be a hint. And I know that for Justice for All to be recognized as a party, city council can't be where we stop. We have to run federal races like Senate, Congress, president. We have
everything. Absolutely everything. Yeah. We need a presence everywhere. I'm just saying that again, this is what I've been doing for the last 18 months or longer. And I just want to get people to say, you know, be involved in national politics, but also be involved locally. Try to, you know, figure out see what your people, the candidates are doing, the politicians are doing, who they're in bed with. And
another thing, that we interrupt, but another thing you could do is go to Open Secrets. Open Secrets is a great website. If you want to see, I'm going to try to find this because OpenSecrets.org, I think is OpenSecrets.org. I'm going to share this screen because I was not planning on talking about them. But this is something every American can do. This is something even the person that doesn't even pay attention, doesn't even know. Let me share this. Yeah, it's OpenSecrets.org. And what they do is if you want to find out what your personal politician is doing, like my congressperson is Andre Carson. And I want to know, well, who's he getting money from? I would type in his name here. And every time they have a search on it, it would come up. You'll get to see who he takes money from. I think my Wi-Fi is a little slowed down. Oh, there it is. So you can go, I'll take that second one. You can see who he's getting his money from, how much he's raised, his top contributors, what he spent, what he has on hand, what he has in debts. Here's a law firm. He's for Medicare for All, but getting money by that used to be Anthem. Everybody, Elephants used to be Anthem. So you can't really be for Medicare for All if you're taking money from Anthem. That doesn't make sense to me. But you can see, my point is, you can see where your politician is getting money from. And that's the first step you take.
Yeah.
And then if you're running, don't take money from them.
Exactly.
Take just grassroots money. Don't look. I welcome AIPAC to come after. See, I wish I would. I wish AIPAC would come after me. Oh, please do, AIPAC, because I got something for you. Oh, I got something for you. You can sit here and say anti-Semitic all you want. I'm like, last time I checked, my savior is Jewish, so I don't know what you talking about. See, I'm gonna go there. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down. But yeah, the way, like I said, and not only do that, we have to get people to run federally, they also have to raise $5,000. So here's the next thing. Yes, they had to raise $5,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't got $5,000 just sitting around somewhere. That means this day, You need to start something. Now, I'm starting it off by, I've had this team up ever since I've had this channel. I have said, hey, I don't think I put it up here. Well, I didn't put it up here. Oh my goodness, I did not put it up. Let me put it up here really quickly. It's not up here. But you can participate in the August 30th event. The Justice for All Fundraising-A-Thon will have special guest entertainment and learn how to get involved with Justice for All and raise $25,000. That would help if we get that, or when we get that, because I'm a when, not if person. That helps 5 people.
Yeah.
We need a total of what? We would need a total of 18, or is it 12? Okay, so Ruth. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
You need $5,000 to throw your hat in the ring, basically.
Yes, for federal office. Those are the 2 requirements. You have to be recognized as a national party. 5,000 is the minimum.
In each individual.
Each individual, yes. So if we had 12 candidates running for United States Senate, each one of those 12 candidates would have to raise $5,000 so that the Justice for All party would be recognized.
So Democrats don't have to do that, or Republicans don't have to do that.
You know, now that part I don't know, but they're so far past the 5,000. I mean, they can do that in a blink of an eye. If
That's
you think
true.
about it.
They would support different, yeah.
Right. Doesn't say where the money has to come from. Right. You just have to get that amount.
Don't you have to disclose?
You have to disclose, yes. You have to disclose. Yeah. But, you know, there's dark money.
Oh, do I ever?
Dark money you don't have to disclose. And there's some, because I used to ask, well, if they can only give $5,000, how did Madeline Addison give like $25 million to Trump? Huh? That's way more than dark money. Dark money, y'all. That's how they're doing this. But that's something else that people who are running for office need to think about. Start fundraising today. Today is the day that you, Justice for All candidate, needs to start raising money.
And even though you say they should be national, I think you should be both local and national and state.
I do think it, but I'm thinking of having us recognized as a national party.
Oh, yes.
I'm not saying don't run for local office, but even if you are running for local office, you still need $5,000, and I'll tell you why. Because it's still expensive to run for office.
So if we give money for the Justice for All, it'll go to helping candidates?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say the goal of my August the 30th fundraiser is to go for candidates.
That's good. That's good. You know, it's just, you know, getting past, God, it's kind of like we're in a system of, definitely, we're in a system of divide and conquer. It's really hard to fight against the 2-party system. It's hard to get out there. But we can do it if we all stand together, if we just focus on that, because there is no choice. We can't go back to Democrats. We can't. I'm never going back to the Democrats. So the only choice I have is to go and fight for another party.
Okay. You know? So I guess we're on trying to convince Tracy to run for office today. Most people, everyday people, have financial issues. Don't worry about it. If you come out forward with the truth and don't try to lie or hide it. Now, I'm not going to hide it, but I think they're significant.
I think everyone's expected to have financial, difficulties right now in this particular. It's part of economic injustice in a sense. You know, we get in debt just trying to live, and
that's true.
That could be. That's not something to be ashamed of. It's something that we all have in common.
Yep. And Rue, by the way's comment, this is obviously Dems are in tandem with GOP to bring fascism's rise. Absolutely true, but I still argue people are saying Trump's a fascist. I'm like, so is Biden, but hey, that's an argument for another day. Um, all I'll say is 1994 crime bill. But
yeah,
I just would, again, this is what I really want, because I really see potential in this party to make a significant difference.
I do too.
Because we learned so much gathering signatures the first time. I think when we do it again, we're going to be so prepared, because we already know what we've experienced. We know, okay, last time we did this, so that didn't work, so let's try this.
Is there no way to get some sort of citizens initiative to get down how many signatures you need to get for a
See, okay, now I know in my state, Indiana, there was a lawsuit. And this is what they did. The Green Party, Libertarian Party, and PSL, I think, all teamed up to file a lawsuit saying, hey, this 37,963 number is too high.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring it down. And the judge literally said, well, yeah, you have a right to do that, but it would disrupt the system.
So they want to support.
So they want to basically screw us over, basically. So they filed an appeal. But get this, the appeal still, to my knowledge, has not been heard yet. And
sorry, go ahead.
These are the type of things that the two-party system is doing, right? Because for me, it's like people say, oh, well, nobody's scared of a third party. The lies you tell. Because if you weren't scared, why are you doing all of this? Why are you spending money in court to keep people off the ballot? To me, that shows fear.
Money. I mean, you said $20 million last year?
The Democrats spent $20 million.
Interesting. That's the amount of money that Harris got right after from AIPAC, right after the convention. 20 million.
$20 million. You don't do that unless you're scared.
No.
Because me, if I were to run for office, and again, I'm still 90% like I'm not gonna do it. But bring on the competition. You want to run against me? Hey, let's have a debate. You name the place, you name the time, date and place. I'm there. Because we're gonna discuss ideas. But they can't discuss ideas, right? Because it's corporate owned, corporate bought, corporate geared. Remember, and I know we're not the same age.
I'm older. Much older.
What did you say?
I'm much older.
Well, no, you're not that much older. You're like maybe 9 or 10 years older than me.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Let me see. I am 11 years older than you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. But that's still not out of the, like, you're not like 70 or 80 or 90. But what I'm saying is, we remember when the League of Women Voters used to run the presidential debate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember that. I was a little kid, but I remember it. All of a sudden, they stopped doing it. Now it's ran by the media.
Yeah.
Why can't we pressure the League of Women Voters? Hey, start sponsoring presidential debates again. They still exist, from what I know.
From what in this area, the League of Women Voters seem to be all pretty much in the Democratic Party.
See, you just said it. See, I was asking it sarcastically, but Robin went ahead and answered the question. See, that's the problem, right?
And everybody toes the line. Everybody walks lockstep. Nobody goes out of talking points. You know what I mean? There is nobody to put people's feet to the fire.
There's the voters, but unfortunately, the voters are at the point now. It's like, why even vote?
And look at the activism. The Black Lives Matter. Everything is co-opted. so that it becomes a talking point. It becomes
Not the Kente clause.
yeah.
Couldn't even pass. The Democratic Party is so stupid. They literally snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they literally do. They take something that's an absolute win. John Lewis Voters' Rights Act. Even I thought, okay, they can't mess that up. Wrong. They messed it up.
Yeah.
And it's like we have to be better at communicating to people. Hey, look, they're not for you. Be in a party that's for you and listens to you and values you. We want human rights. We want basic human rights. The right for people to live, the right for people to eat food that's healthy and not clamor it with chemicals. We want to breathe good air, drink clean water, have an educational system that's not corporately controlled by charter schools. Yes, I put that in there. We want to make public and collegiate education free. Yeah, free. I said it.
Yeah.
The two parties, they're not giving that to you. Look at what Biden could have did. Biden could have canceled every student loan debt, period.
They will do things that don't go against their donors. They'll do whatever it is. They'll use rhetoric. They'll, but yeah, they aren't going to do things like give us universal health care or economic justice or a minimum wage that people can live on, housing. They will not do that.
No, they tell people to get a job, but they don't say how many jobs. How do you look at the minimum wage? I'm like, at least Harris could have won on this. She didn't even speak about raising the minimum wage. Never. It never left her mouth. It never. She could have lied about Gaza. Let's just put it out there. Do I think lying is a good thing? No, I don't. But she could have lied and said, you know what, this is wrong.
And then she would have been held to that. And then people might have said, been able to come forward and like push her more on it. Yes, maybe not, but in a way she did lie. She talked about Biden wanting a ceasefire.
She was working tirelessly to end the Palestinian deaths. Sure. And a report came out by Intercept, which I'm going to get my hands on and talk about tomorrow, says there was no intention for them to ever end it. No intention. We're supposed to believe this department, this party, and we have to do a better message, better messaging. And really work in our communities to say, hey guys, they're not for you. And I know we're going to have quality candidates. I already know that. But we've got to have a lot of things work at the same time.
You also brought up something of people having to work so many jobs, and young people have to work a lot of jobs. And I often wonder why there aren't no more young people actually involved in all of these fights, and they're working so hard just to be able to pay the rent, to be able the inflated rents in this area. You have to have like 3 jobs. You're tired.
Yeah, you're too tired to get active, right? It's like
and they're cynical. They don't believe anybody's going to change. They don't believe anything about
And have we given them the reason to believe? Our message is squashed. So we're going to have to figure out how to work around media, because that's a big, big, big task that I know the committee is working on. But here is my message to anyone as we leave. I can't believe it's been an hour. We've been talking a whole hour. Wow. But
it's nice to you, by the way.
I know. I'm like, but wait a minute. I want to talk about this. I want to be more solution focused. I know we didn't get into a ton of solutions, but I did give a couple, and I'm going to reiterate those. I'm being a total hypocrite here. by saying run for office. Because again, y'all know I can't see myself doing it. But every time I see our governor, I'm just like, dude, you gonna make me just jump in, and I don't want to jump in, and I don't want to do it. But like I said, there's a Senate race in 4 years. Yeah, there's a Senate race coming up. And I'm like, well, maybe. Because there's no major seats coming up in Indiana. Like no major seats are coming up, except for the congressional seats. They come up every 2 years. But 7th district, I don't got a chance in the world. And I just can't put myself out there where I know I'm going to lose. And I know I'm not going to raise $5,000.
If you run, we'll make sure you get $5,000.
No, we're not going to do that, because then people going to be like, Tracy, run, Tracy, run. Tracy doesn't want to put because another problem I have is I won't be my own campaign manager. I will not. So tell you something, I won't do it. I won't do it. I need somebody to say, hey, rein it in, and we need to have you here. I don't need to worry about all that.
Yeah.
All I need to worry about is the message. If I was going to do it again, right now at this moment, I can't see it. But that doesn't mean I won't be somebody's campaign manager.
Yeah, that brings home how, like you were talking about, we need to get the money out of politics. We need to get the media out of making money off of politics. It needs to be.
Exactly. But again, right. Join us for that August the 30th JFA Fundraising-A-Thon, because once we raise that $25,000, again, that's 5 candidates that we just helped. And that gets us closer to getting I think it's 14 or 18 candidates that we have to have. And of course, as Robin said, run locally. Oh my goodness. Cities are out here passing. I don't know if this is the problem in you guys' city, but it is in ours. We have new apartment buildings, and I promise nobody lives in them. I'm like, who's living in there? Rent's $2,300 a month. Are you kidding me?
City council stuff. You might want to just go, start out there so you can start calling people out there.
Well, I call mine enough. And those 2 things you can definitely do. But we got some comments, and then we're going to wrap it up here. The way around it is to throw it back in their face by saying the truth, that you wouldn't have the financial problem. If the Democrats see now, Nelson, you are absolutely 100% right.
You're always right on. Yeah.
Then he always says what I'm thinking, but I'm just like, but I'll tell you this, I will not, if I do it, I'm not running as a Democrat. I will not run as a Democrat. Will not. But then I know the signature gathering that has to be done. And that's another thing we got to think about, because we're still required to gather signatures in Indiana.
Okay. Can I ask this?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that are for the Green Party. When you go on there to talk about a viable third party, they'll say Green Party. And somehow the Green Party doesn't hit me the right way either. And so that's a difficult thing. How to convince people, that there's a real difference between the Justice for All Party and the Green Party.
Here's what I'll say. Most people who are Green Party, well, then I have to start talking about why I left the Green Party.
Well, why Cornell left the Green Party, as far as something.
I'll say it in this way. You can't go and put 350 million people into 4 baskets. Democrat, Republicans, Greens, Libertarians. Those are the 4 largest parties in the country right now. We are too diverse in our thinking and in our thought process and in the way we operate to put us in those parties. I personally think people overseas in like Ireland and England, And other countries, they have 6 and 7 parties, and
Yeah.
they know exactly how to vote. So for me, it's not a problem that there's more than one third party. And I would say this, when you go into the grocery store, you want to buy something, for example, like bread. So now we got to start thinking, do you want to buy a white bread, wheat bread, sourdough, rye, gluten-free bread? You got to start narrowing down and find out what's best for you. Now, does that mean I'm never going to vote for a Green Party candidate? No. I can imagine me. I mean, if there's nobody for Justice for All not running for that office, because my support is always going to go for Justice for All. But I can't imagine me saying, oh, well, I'm not going to vote for them because they're a Green Party. No, if they're the only option. And I think a lot of people say that because they have ballot access in 48 states. And
Yeah.
Justice for All only has 20, not even 20 states yet. We're getting there, right? But look at what Stein got. I think she got like, what, 1%? And this past election, so it was basically her, Dr. West, and Claudia De La Cruz all together got like 1%.
It's just crazy to me. There's this. I used to believe that all we needed to do, was just stand up because and all the people and vote, and
Yeah.
we could change things. But it seems that people have been convinced that there are only two parties, that these two fixed parties are.
I think that's a slightly disagree. I think people know there are two parties. It's just they know that there are more than two parties. What they think is that a third party can't win. And that's what we have to beat.
Yeah.
And I beat that every time by saying, hey, there's over 35,000 elected officials nationwide they are not Democrats, they are not Republicans.
So, yeah.
Because some people, they're just going to vote. As frustrated as I am with the Black community that keeps supporting the Democrats and the Democrats don't support them, I'm not going to win them over by saying clear facts all the time, just like your party's terrible, you're terrible for voting for them. Do I disagree with their votes? Absolutely, yes. But it's going to be up to them to decide, hey, I've had enough. And I think a lot of people have enough. And unfortunately, they stay at home.
You think genocide would have done that, but
you would have thought. You would have thought, oh, well, this is wrong. Nope. They double down on those are those people over there.
Yeah. I thought they were going to like break their silence after when it was Trump.
American exceptionalism is a disease, y'all. It is a disease. We think, oh, if it's not affecting me, it's not a problem. And it is a problem because what affects, Dr. King said it better than I could, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. Absolutely. Just because it's not happening to you personally does not mean it won't happen. Because trust and believe, when they stop coming for the Palestinians and the Africans, they're coming right at you.
I think that's we all have to get outside of what ourselves and definitely think as human beings, what is good for everyone.
Yeah. I think we need to think about it like selling soda. Like we need to get rid of, and don't get me wrong about this, because we use these words and we know what neoliberalism means. We know what fascist means. We know what oligarchy means. I guarantee if I sit there and said oligarchy to my niece, she'd be like, what are you talking about? Guarantee it. We need to act like we're selling soda. That's what we can do. We need to start being soda sellers. Get that down to the most basic thing. And ditch oligarchy, fascism, neoliberalism. It's okay we use those words amongst ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we're talking to like the disenfranchised voter or voters or the potential voter, I'm not using any of those words. I'm like, they messing with your mind. That's what they're doing. They're messing with your mind.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you know, we're always trying to find out different ways to express ourselves. You know, what's going on to try and, you know, uh, uh, you know, talk about how embedded, like here, corruption is. Um, so yeah, yeah. I guess we have to get to talking points that just speak to to people's needs, basic needs, and
And
be
I
real.
like that soda selling. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one. I'm like, yeah, soda selling. Okay, so we're gonna let Nelson have the last word on this.
Thank you,
Um,
Nelson.
this is not a straight run. This is a hurdle race. The first hurdle is finding a way to get people together because united we stand, divided we fall. Absolutely. And I
You're
think
absolutely
that's,
right.
you know, if we came up with 3 solutions tonight, we said definitely support the August 30th fundraiser-a-thon,
Yes.
fundraising-a-thon. Still getting guests together for that. So we can at least get our 5 candidates on the map. And if there is a Justice for All party in your state, get involved with it. I'm pretty sure I can name, I know Indiana has one. I know Washington has one. I know, I think California has one. And if they don't have one and you agree with the message of the Justice for All party, guess what you need to do? Start one.
And can I say one other thing?
Yes.
Even though it's not, get involved with the Justice for All party in your state, support Justice for All candidates, but also start getting involved in your community and doing the things that Cornell was talking about. Start being an activist for people that have no voice. You know?
Exactly, because we don't want to say vote for us. And what you do? Well, I'm here running. No, that's not going to do it. We got to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Absolutely.
Yep. Now, Robin, I know you're not on social media that much, so I'm not going to ask where we can find you. But when we going to hear that run for city council? That's what I want to know.
You can find the run for city council. Hey, if anyone wants to check out what Jose and I are doing here, they can go to Friends of Smith Cove in Evergreen Park on YouTube. And we've got a whole bunch of things exposing corrupt politicians, but also talking about, you know, oh, we actually got someone good to throw their hat in the race for mayor though here, you know, which is great. So we're going to get involved in that campaign, but it's not Justice for All because we have no party affiliation for mayor, but it's somebody who actually is an advocate for the homeless, and we have no money, but we'll get it going. So
Yep.
everybody get involved, whatever way you can, to help fellow human beings out, you know?
Exactly. And everybody, I thank you for joining me. Remember to like this video, share this video. You can also comment on it. You know, there's a little small group of people I asked to comment on it because y'all know we trying to fool the algorithm. But subscribing really helps us to get up there. This is the only podcast that I know of that's even dedicated to the Justice for All party and the work of the Justice for All party. So keep that in mind. Asking for your support. Remember, of course, to join me tomorrow for Tracy's Weekend Review. I got a doozy for y'all. Oh my goodness, I got a doozy for y'all.
Can I ask you what's happening on June 7th again?
June 7th is our Black Voter Forum. Okay. 5 African American women will talk about the election, what we're doing, what we did. We will have Democrats, which that will be a little different. We will have Democrats. We will have a Green Party supporter. Of course, I'll be there as a Dr. West supporter. We'll just be discussing. I could not find a Black female Trump supporter. I tried my best and I couldn't find one, but we'll just assume that they're there.
Good.
And they'll be watching. But that's June 7th at 6:00 p.m. Thank you for reminding me of that.
On Tracy Media, on your show.
On this channel, yes.
Okay,
so
good.
There won't be a Justice for All podcast that day. That's exclusively Black Voter Forum. I've done Black Voter Forum this is my 4th year. I've always done it in the month of June, that very first week. Still continue the tradition.
What you're doing, your voice out here is so important. It's so refreshing to actually be able
I don't have $20 to send you.
What?
Anytime somebody pays me a compliment, I say, I'll send you 20, but I don't have 20 to send you. I do not have $20 to send you. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize the compliment came with
No, I'm thanking you, because I'm like, look, because you know sometimes they compliment each other, you be like, you full of it. But yours is sincere and I appreciate it. But I try to do my best, but I tried. That's all I can do is just try. But like I said, share this episode, share it on your social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I don't think you can share things on Twitch. X, even though that's full of racism, but that's okay. Blue Sky, any place where you get to, if you got friends on email, put it in an email, send it to them. Thank you all for watching. I will see you tomorrow at 6:00 p.m. We're taking us down. We're doing the outro. Have a good, great evening.
Thank you.